Hey, this is May 12th, my advanced class. We're going to be getting into the final talking about the gospel according to Larry, this book right here, and stuff like that, because we have the final test over it tomorrow, which is our last big, real Grady thing coming up. And then we do have the end of the year stuff coming. There won't be a whole lot coming up from there. That'll be sort of the end of it. Let's see. I think that's all. We'll come back to my face in a little bit. We're going to go over to the actual screen thing. Let's go screen thing, clickety click, so that can pop up. To there, because we're going to share that one. I'm slowly learning how to do this. No! Right as I get done bragging, it messes up, because that's the way things go, because it hates me. Yeah. All right. Come on. There we go. All right. To you guys then. Oh, poopies. I got to bring up chat so I can see that when people do the chatty things. And this thing in case someone else joins or raises a hand. All right. And then to there. Now we're good to go. Let's see, Skyward is updated, except for a small number of things that came in last night. I'll be updating those right after we get done on here. But other than that, everything, if you see something missing on Skyward, if you think you've turned it in, let me know. Especially if it was on Canvas, the 75 items, or the sermon, or the song playlist. On those, I don't go back and check as often because it's a pain. So if you've turned that in and I still have you down as a 0, just send me a message, say, hey, go look for it. I'll look for it. I'll be more than happy to give you a grade for it. So just let me know, and you'll be fine with that one. I do have a school update for you, which I'm going to give you guys in just a moment, as far as when you guys get to come in, teachers get to come in, turning stuff in. We'll cover all of that things here in a moment. Another small update too. You're almost done with schoolwork for me. Today is your last real big Socrative, also our last real big conversation. Tomorrow we have a really short one because I'll just be giving you guys how to get into the test and answering any last minute questions. Tomorrow is the final gospel test. It's going to be 35 questions, like 5 short answer and then some matching and then the multiple choice and stuff like that. And then that'll be it. And then that's your last big grade for me. And then Thursday, which I'll talk about here in a moment, you do have Socratives, but they're going to be working a little bit differently. And we're going to discuss the end of the book today. And I kind of have an interesting conversation. We're going to see how things go. I'm interested to see how you guys take today's conversation. All right, school info that I have for you. What we are talking about, the information we just got yesterday, is that they are talking about doing iPad drop-offs next Friday. So our last day of school is next Thursday, the 21st, and they're saying the 22nd, they're going to have kids come and drop off the school iPads. And they're going to send out like a certain time for you to come by and drop it off. I was hoping that was going to be the same day you could drop off your book for me and bring your gospel book back, but they're saying no. You're not allowed in the school. You're not allowed interaction with anything else. It is just for iPads, and that is it. So you can't drop off any other things. You can't go into your locker. You don't get to see people. It is literally, you're just going to drive by with your iPad and like stop and like wee and just huck it out the window and like and just peel out and keep on going. So you're not going to be allowed into your locker on that day. So what they're saying now is that kids are not allowed in the school to access lockers until after June 30th. So not until 4th of July at the soonest. So it might not be until August. They're just saying they're not even thinking about it. They're not even considering it until we get to at least July 1st. So that's when you guys will be allowed inside the school to get things, return my books and stuff along those lines. Which also means for those of you who are wanting to do like summer run club with me and things like that, can't happen until at least July. As of now, we cannot do anything that involves school. All school activities are officially canceled and banned until July 1st. So we can't do anything until then. And still, I have no idea what next school year is going to talk about. They've been talking about it could be any number of different forms as far as like partial online, partial half days, all completely normal. They honestly have no idea how things are going to happen. Shalini, I have all the locker combinations. I can give those to you, so it's not going to be a major big deal. I'm assuming most kids probably forgot them. So that's not a major issue. Hebert, that would be nice. I might do something like that, Hebert, and allow you guys to then come by and return your books early or something like that. And then you don't have to worry about it because it doesn't get returned next year. It comes back and costs you money. So something where you guys can come by and find my house. I mean, heck, most of you guys know how to ride your bike. So go on a bike ride, come by my house. We can do an air high five. And then you can drop it off, and that's fine with me. Hang on. Corson, what's up?
I forget.
Solid question. Glad you brought that up. I feel closer to you. Sassy child. All right. And then back to here. So locker access. All summer school activities. So basically anything that involves the school, you cannot do over the summertime because they have no idea how things are going to happen. Again, if you have turned in any of these, the gospel homework 1, 2, or 3, the 75 items, the playlist, or the sermons, feel more than free to just email those. They're still turned in. As Andre brought up a moment ago, you are more than welcome to send me, you can go back and do the quizzes without an issue whatsoever. Silanov, I'm assuming tennis courts are still going to be closed because I think they have them padlocked. So you cannot get to them until, again, July 1st. But I will tell you.
Some kids in there before.
Yeah, at the one at our school?
Yeah.
Oh, my daughter says she went by and saw kids sneaking in, so you might be able to get in the ones there. I know the ones in my neighborhood, the Plantana, North Point, whatever this place here, those tennis courts are open. And so you can still come to those. And then apparently the high school says they'll be open on May 20th. So that could be. We've not heard exactly, so they might be open sooner. So tennis courts might, since they're outdoors, that could be a thing. 75 items. Just a reminder, because I still have kids who have not turned these in, you still can turn. For me, you can turn in everything from the very beginning of like we've been doing all of this. You can still turn it in for me for credit. I mean, it costs you a few late grade points, but I'll still give you points, which is better than your big fat honking zero. Whether it's the quiz or whether it's the Socratic question or homework or anything, you can do all of those and you're good to go. The sermons, thank you. I definitely enjoyed reading through your sermons and then replying to a handful of them as you guys went on your little ranty things. They definitely entertained me, whether it was about what type of ice we should get or what kind of rights we should have. But the fact that watching you guys unleash your anger, or the fact that some of you guys are confused about guinea pigs being a delicious meal, the fact that I feel like I inspired some of them, I really was entertained and appreciated. Yeah, I know you're supposed about breakfast food, and you got lots of people to respond to it also, so well done on that one. All right, here is you're probably going to want to take a screenshot moment. So here is today's, your room name is Novel Q, Novelq, for novel question. This is our final Socrative about Gospel according to Larry. So it is going to be your opinion. In your opinion, was this book worth it? I might recommend waiting until the end of today's discussion because today's discussion may impact things a little bit. But should I teach it again? What made it worthwhile in your mind or what made it a complete waste? Before you answer, also, another thing, realize don't judge the book on e-learning. I know e-learning is awful and the fact that you had to read this book during e-learning, but don't judge this book because it happened during e-learning. I mean, and don't be like, you should teach no books. I have to teach a book. Like that's the thing that's required. Every year they ask me, pick a book that you're going to teach. So my question is, if I have to teach a book, was this a book worth sitting through? And if you didn't like it, what was the thing you did not enjoy about it? So that's what I'm looking for. Just your opinion, yay, nay. Don't say, I hate e-learning. Yeah, I know most of you hate e-learning. And don't be like, don't do any books. That's not an option. All right. I'm assuming you have no questions as far as this part goes. So we should be good to go there. Respond. This is your last big learning Socrative. The Socrative coming up on Thursday is going to be a different kind of thing that we'll talk about here in a moment. And then tomorrow is not a Socrative at all. Tomorrow is going to be the final test that goes along with it. All right. I think we good. We good there. So again, your e-learning, you can go back and do any of the past ones. All the directions are on my website for those kids who are confused. Final gospel test is tomorrow. I'll give you guys the login. It's all set up and ready for you. Again, 35 questions. Again, you have like the entire week to take it. If you want to take it tomorrow and be done with it, that's fine. For those of you who are not done reading, Ryan, you're more than welcome to go ahead and take more time and then not turn it in until like this weekend. I'm fine with any of that. Hebert, I wish you the best of luck with that. It looks like you might be having a few issues. So then for the rest of you, tomorrow test, Thursday. I might have mentioned this to you guys at one time or not throughout the year, but I end the year with me telling stories. And so Thursday is going to be our first story. So with Thursday, it's going to be slightly different in the fact that it is going to be you guys and my regular classes combined. I only do it a one-time thing. So it's going to be a big, massive combination collection of you guys all together into one room. And so you're going to have some of those other hooligan heathens in there. Shouldn't be a major issue, but that way I'm only going to do it the one time. As far as the time, I'm probably going to aim for 10:30. So it's between the advanced and regular. So it sort of goes to both of them, but it gives you some idea from there. So if you're unaware, and if you don't have older siblings or are friends with older kids, here's how I end my year. I tell stories about the poor choices I made in my life and how they shaped who I became. If you are unaware of this, I've been arrested 3 times in my life. 3 major, horrible, bad things that I did that I regretted at the time. So what I go back and do is I'm going to tell you the story of each one of those arrests. And here's my little teaser. I'll tell you when I got arrested, not what it was for. The first time I got arrested, I was 8 years old. The second time I got arrested, I was 14 years old. And the last time I got arrested, I was 18 years old. So I'm going to tell you one of those stories each day. The first one's coming up on Thursday, where I'll tell you that first story about my poor choice. And then I'm going to have a story next Tuesday, Wednesday. And then next Thursday is not a story. It's the thing that is my Brovi talk. It's the thing where it's like my final message where I get to pass along information to you and we get to bond and talk and stuff like that. And so that'll be all the things I have for you. We are also in the process of trying to figure out, we have Heroes Awards. We have a hero of the, yes, I was a criminal. Thank you, Jillian. Make me cry. You could probably ask your uncle about one of them because one of them happened when he was in school with me. So there's every chance that he would know about it. Or your dad might know about it also. Definitely your uncle would, but your dad might even remember it because I went to school with her dad and uncle. So they might be aware of it because it happened while I was at school. Sorry, that was to Jillian. What?
Were you friends with them?
Yeah, with her uncle?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Her dad was younger than me, was the same age as Uncle Nick. So
Wow,
I don't know if he
you're so
remembers.
close with their family.
Goodness, because anyway, moving on from my horrible child, I'm gonna throw out a window. Defenestration. Save them like a children in The Outsiders. And so you distracted me. I was talking about hurting children and doing a thing. Anyway, and so those will be the stories coming up. You'll have Socrates that go along with them. Oh, end of the year awards. We're trying to figure out an awards thing. We have a hero of the year, we have students of the year, and we have character award winners. And so we have actual awards we're going to be handing out to some of you guys. We're just not sure how to set all of that up yet. So that'll be more information coming out. It might be a Zoom, and we're still trying to figure out how to do all of it too. And so I know some of we're going to be delivering, like hand delivering some of the awards to you guys. But anyway, that'll be a thing to expect for sometime next week, and we're going to get that covered also. All right, covered all of that information. Now we're going to get into actual gospel stuff. If you are not wanting to pay attention to this part, if you want to go back out and read, then you're good to go. The only thing I have here is we're going to talk about the end of the gospel thing. I will say you're going to want to watch this at some point because there's information I'm getting ready to pass along that might be mind-blowing for some of you. Others of you maybe not so much, but we're going to sort of get to that here in just a moment. Here's real quick, small timeout. I have to do a small pouty face because this is where I hate the fact that you're not in a room with me, so we can't actually have a conversation. First little bit is just me talking at you, which is not the fun stuff. Because again, my question is Josh a good person? Now that we've finished the whole thing, it's curious about, do you think overall he was a good human or not a good human? And this is where I'm sort of watching some of your head movements as you go back and forth. I'm glad some of you do. Well, then for those of you who are eagerly nodding, support their choices. For those of you who see that Josh then says the whole fake committing suicide thing at the very end and the way it impacts people, do you support the choice that he does with the whole fake suicide thing? And those of you who have finished the book, the fact that he then comes back from fake suicide, which is why we have this entire book in the first place. And then Beth, who I know some of you guys got really angry with Beth and the fact that she harbored her secret crush, but you might not know this, but some of you harbor secret crushes also. And the idea of you telling the person you have a crush on them, you'd be like, what? I would never do that because that would be so awkward. And then you find out later they have a crush on you too. It's almost like being a teenager. Oh my God, it's so weird. And then Beta Gold, otherwise known as Tracy Hawthorne, and the fact that she was just trying to protect people or she was trying to become famous. It sort of depends on how you look at things. Ooh, the sermons. I'm hoping you enjoyed the sermons, and you get to see the whole ranting and going off and stuff like that, and the fact that some of you seem to really enjoy writing your own sermons. It was fun watching you guys sort of go off on that one. I wish I could have opened those up to kids like all over the place, like in other parts of the school to read, because some of your sermons I think are really fun to share, but so much so. And I personally like the footnotes, the things at the little bottom as you guys were going through and doing the reading, because it sort of like added a little bit of extra personality to it and things like that. That'd be a fun conversation to have. That would be a fun conversation to have. We'll sort of touch on it here in a moment. Supporting of what Josh does towards the end, with the fake suicide, and then the going and hiding, and that one girl who fake claims to have had his baby and stuff like that, and there's no way to fake or to fight the fact that she claims to have had his baby. And he was like, I've never even been friendly. I've never even Zeused anybody. And they get to have that weird conversation. See how I avoided an awkward conversation by making that reference to Greek mythology? Go me. I'm a professional. See to there. Was it worth Josh getting the book? I mean, he does eventually get the book out there and published, which does out himself and stuff like that. And there is a sequel. I know I mentioned this before, but we do get to find out more about Josh and find out more about Beth and Tracy Hawthorne. It's called Vote for Larry. I have a copy in my classroom, which I would happily let you borrow, but I can't because that's not going to happen. But yeah, you can find it online and stuff like that. And if you were all interested in it, I highly recommend it. Now, before I go to my next thing, I'm going to give you guys a moment. Did anyone have questions? Because here's the part where, like, those of you who have not read, I don't go through and just talk about all the events that happened, because that'd be really boring for those of you who did. I see. Here's the problem with that, Hebert, is Zeus could be taken more than one way, because I talked about the other kind of Zeusing, which was really creepy the way you used it. You're talking about ponyboying her out the window, and yes, I was talking about defenestrating my daughter out the window and tossing her. But she stopped talking, so now I don't have to chuck her out a window. But if she keeps getting lippy back there, we may have to see what happens. But right now, she's doing work.
Doggo.
Yes, there is a dog. Anyway, so I'm assuming no questions from you guys then. We're good to go. So I'm not going to go back and just recount what happened in the books. That'd be boring. So then let's get to my other fun information. And now we get to have a slight kind of conversation. Here are my final words on gospel. 1, did any of you attempt to look up Josh Swinson to find out more information about him? If you tried to Google him, look him up, find information about him today. Did you attempt to try and find pictures from Larry Fest in any way to find out what happened back then to see how it was going? Or did you attempt to Google any of the people or event?
Why?
You have to are you trying to get him in here? No, he's not allowed in my room. Thank you. Sorry, she's trying to bring my dog in here, but he barks at every random passing animal, so it gets annoying. If you attempted to do any of this, you may have discovered something. That you could not find anything about Josh Swinson. You couldn't find anything about Larry Fest. You couldn't find anything about Beta Gold or Tracy Hawthorne. And it's not because it was so long ago that all this information has fallen away. It's because the entire book is fiction. The whole thing is made up. Josh does not exist. Josh is not a real person. There was no gospel according to Larry website. There was no Beta Gold. All of that is completely make-believe. The entire thing is a made-up story from beginning to end. Oh no! My internet connection is unstable. All right, now it's back again. Right at the worst time ever. So the whole book is just a made-up thing from the whole way through. It is just a story. Now, given I tried to present it as it was a real thing, that there was a real person, for a couple of different reasons that I went into it. Of course, I'm not Meab. I couldn't even be Meab if I wanted to be Meab, you silly child, unless you meant mean. And then I'm not mean either. We're going to talk about that too. Of course, I dared James. So let's get into this real quick. Why? Oh, Jenna, I know I just triggered a bunch of kids, but get this. You guys are getting the really easy version. If you guys had been in class with me during this whole time, I go hardcore into convincing kids that it's real. I have all kinds of like fake souvenirs I bring in and fake things I bring in where I try to like sell this entire event where it was an actual real thing. And then I have some kids figure it out. We had a kid who figured it out, actually 2 kids who luckily are not on here today, who did figure it out, and they kept sending me messages and calling me names and attacking me. And I swore them to secrecy and said, you're not allowed to tell other people. And so that becomes quite the fun thing whenever they unleash anger and attack me. So, oh, hang on. Corson's trying to get back in. Apparently she got, is that 2 Corsons? Hang on 1 second. I'm making sure I don't have a fake Corson coming in. I had a Corson who was out, and then, all right, so other Corson. Hang on, Corson. There's a fake, are you in here twice, Corson? Because I have a second Corson in here too, still. So 1 Corson is showing, hang on, right in the middle of me having to torture. All right, the other one's gone. All right, other Corson's gone. All right, making sure we're good. So here's why I would do such things. Couple of reasons. 1, it makes the story more fun and entertaining if you think it's a real story. You got much more invested. You got much more angry at Beth. It was a much more fun story to read if you thought all the characters were real. Reading a story about real people is just more fun overall, as opposed to knowing it was fake. When you guys thought like Outsiders had a chance of being a real story, it makes it a more exciting thing. So I've tried to help you buy into it, to help you get more happy and excited and buy into the book. You get more angry at the characters. And so that's just a general teaching thing. But here's the other reason why I do it. The more important reason why I do it, and it was realistic. I mean, they do the whole teaching of children thing, like they do teenagers really well. Oh yeah, of course, and Outsiders was not real either. But they tell you that at the end of that one. But yeah, so none of the Outsiders was real, so that helps you out. If it helps, there was another story that we were going to do, which does this also, where at the end of the year, I reveal there's a whole bunch of things I've been doing. But again, you guys missed out on that because of e-learning, so you missed out on all kinds of my big reveals. So here's the other big reason. I want you guys to start challenging authority. Do not just blatantly believe a person who is an authority figure. Just because someone has power over you, just because someone claims to be a person of knowledge, does not mean you should automatically believe them. Adults lie. Adults manipulate all the time. And so what drives me nuts is that I have people my age, and I have past students who are on social media, who are on Facebook, this whole fake news thing, and they go in there and they just blatantly believe anything that is posted without going and verifying, without going and checking things. All any of you had to do was Google Josh Swinson, and you would have figured out immediately that all of this was fake. You could have gone to the Gospel According to Larry website, and you would have figured out these things. Alyssa, yeah, you are forced to listen to me. You are not forced to believe me. You chose to believe me. You chose to full force go into all of this. So that's the fact that I wanted you to challenge me. So we have certain political figures who tend to spread lies at times and hope that people will just believe anything they say. And I want you guys to be able to challenge them. So yeah, I know you trusted me, James, but here's the thing. I did not lie to you out of anger or meanness. I lied to you because I actually care about you, because I want you to become a stronger person. If I just tell you, hey, adults are going to lie, challenge things, you're just going to go blah, 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 whatever, and ignore me, old man. But if I do something like this, that brings you in and wrecks your life and brings you anger, you're more likely to remember it. The fact that poor Alyssa's capital locks key is stuck as she keeps sending me messages is the fact that this is going to stay with her because she has reached a level of anger. Riley, I still am. I still like you guys. That's why I did that. And Alyssa, but that's the problem. I'm really believable and I'm really good at manipulating people, but there's people who are even better at it than me, who are really good at pulling you guys into believing things. And so that's why I don't want you guys to fall for others. I did it because I actually care about you, but a lot of people are going to do it because they don't care about you. They're just trying to get your vote or trying to get you to do a thing. I want you to start challenging. Challenge adults, challenge anything that goes into it. Do not just blatantly accept things. Andre, are you trying to yell at me in person? I tried to unmute you, Andre, but now you can't. There you go, Andre. Go ahead.
Uh, uh, After a little bit, I just searched up Gospel according to Larry,
Mhm.
and I looked at the Wikipedia, and it just said, uh, Gospel according to Larry is a book written as if it, Janet, Tasha Jan is just the one publishing it, not the one that actually wrote it. And I was like, interesting.
Yeah, and I have kids who go to that website normally
And
when I get a chance to teach, and they try to challenge me, but I've got so many creative rebuffs that I get to fight against kids. It makes it fun. And Alyssa, you're right. You are going to be scolded and attacked from people who are above you and in power. That does not mean you stop doing it. Just because a person has power does not mean that they're correct. And you don't just stand down. There's a reason why there was a certain lady who sat in a different spot on a bus a long time ago just because she got yelled at. Rosa Parks did not just sit back. She was like, no, and she fought for a thing. I want you guys to fight for a thing, even if people tell you it's wrong. If it's the right thing, do it. It's a book. Why are they all so mad? Because they read the book and bought into it, Grabinski. More than it's the book, it's the fact that I would lie to them. I think it's more the shock of knowing the fact that I've been leading them along and the fact that it's more me lying than the book. But that's fine. And part of it also is Larry Fest is, I don't think Larry Fest is a real thing. Not the Larry Fest from the book, but along those same lines, Shalini, partly why I wasn't quite as convincing here is you didn't get to see me in person in a classroom. Ooh, with my personality just oozing at you. And every time a kid comes up with an argument, I'm able to smack the argument away because I've been doing this for so long. I'm way too skilled at what I do. Now, the good news is, it's okay to cry. That lets the sad out. Wow, that's kind of disturbing. It's all right. Oh, Shalini, you totally wouldn't believe me. It's easy to say that now. Broviak, is my name. But here's the good thing. At this point in the year, this is the part where now that we have had this moment, and you should never trust teachers in the first point, Shalini. At this moment moving forward, I now have to, or get to, stop lying to you. I no longer, not lying, educationally mislead you. Moving forward from here, I get to open up because you've now gone through all the learning stuff that we have had. Hang on, I have Sabolko joining. All right, let's make sure this is a real Sabolko who is joining and not a fake Sabolko who's joining. I don't have other Sabolko. Hang on 1 second, and then to there. All right, so there's Sabolko. All right, good to go. So on this one, this is the thing where I talk about like past students when they come back into my room and I say the whole surviving my class thing. This is the part of surviving my class thing. You've had to go through this point. You guys didn't get quite the full level of me torturing you that the kids get it face to face, but you've gotten a level of me torturing you here. But now that we've done this and I've got to reveal this whole you've been living a land of lies up to this point, moving forward from here, this is where I no longer keep lying to you. Now, of course, the issue is, but Mr. Broviak, how can we believe that you're no longer going to keep lying to us? Well, that's a solid question. So my thing would be, what did I just teach you? Verify anything that is said. Do not just flat out accept the things. Make sure that you have to verify it. Also, my regular kids don't get this, which is why I have to do it with you guys in the big open one, because my regular kids, I don't trust them as much as I trust you guys. So they have different end of the year stuff. You guys are my ones who I trust more to think things through. You're my ones that I want you to be able to do well with this. So you guys are the ones who are going to be able to fight against it and stuff like that. My goodness gracious, you guys are all kinds of things. The cake is a lie, but that's about it. So anyway, that's one of the reasons why, one, I miss us being in class together. Because on that, I'm not even going to comment on that one, Hebert. If you're just going to believe everything that comes at you, that is another argument for another person to get into. Oh, I see the book. I believe that it is a book, but to each their own. And apparently is homework a lie? Some homework is a lie. If we were in face-to-face, the amount of like raging that happens on this day and kids who are table flipping and freaking out is so much fun. And so I miss the fact that you guys are not in here with me at the same time fighting and stuff like that. All right. Unfortunately, though, that was all the stuff I really had for you. So I'm going to show you guys this again. And then we're going to get a chance to do a bit more talking for those of you who want to yell at me. If you did not do the whole screen capture thing before, this is to help you out. I'm going to make it disappear. And then we're going to go back to my adorable face. Adorable face of this guy. And escape, click. There we go. To here. Why is my network bandwidth low? Apparently I'm having connection issues, so I apologize on that one. I'm not sure what's going on. What bad timing. I blame my daughters. They're probably doing Netflix or something. So that is all I officially have for you guys now. I just wanted to talk about Into the Book, reveal the fact that it had been make-believe. I don't want to say it's all been lies. Let's just say that it's all been fictional. So hopefully that helps you on some level from there. If it helps, I'm not going to answer this next one, but I will tell you, gospel is not the only lie. Educational misdirections I have given you this year. There are other ones that have happened this year. It's just that they did not all happen at the end of the year. I'd like to spread them out, make you guys challenge reality, make sure you guys go back. And if you ask me what things were lies, I'm going to choose to not answer that. Here's where I've just simply been told, I've not been told, I'm telling you to go out there and figure out this information and challenging things and stuff like that. And Jenna, I'm glad you're questioning your entire life. That is good for you. Wait till next year when you have Fossiled and Sturgeon for We the People. If you think me educationally misleading you is something, you are in for a treat, buckaroo, because that was part of my trying to make you stronger when it comes to it. I mean, wow. I'm not life is meaningless. Death is inevitable, but my life has meaning. My life has a meaning of apparently torturing small children. It brought me a lot of meaning. I've been watching your guys' faces react and freak out this entire time, and that brought me all kinds of happiness. So that's something. My goodness, a bunch of haters all over the place. Stuber, you've taken this so well. What's up, young dear?
It's not even remotely important, but my dog came in and ate my banana bread.
Wow, like right off your desk?
Off my plate. Yeah, I was just sitting on my bed.
Oh, man. How
he walked.
Dog-like?
Yeah, that was all.
Dog, I mean, banana bread shouldn't kill a dog. That should be fine. So, hey, all right.
I mean, it was just like a little bit.
No, that's all right then. We'll forgive that dog then.
Yeah.
But don't eat it out the window. All right. Why? I'm see, now you're asking some interesting questions. Why was the banana bread on her bed? I'm assuming because she had been eating it and then turned around and set it down like any normal human does, and then went over to her desk, which I'm assuming she's sitting at now, and then forgot about the banana bread. I don't know where you're setting, Kluber. I'm not sneakily creeping in your room. I'm looking off part of like a random window. So I was just trying to figure things out from there. You can not confuse. Swedish fish is good. Yes, they are. By the way, you should mix Swedish fish with other types of candy at the same time, like Swedish fish and Sour Patch Kids eaten together. The combination of flavors are really good. If you've never done that, stuff like that, highly recommended. And like the airhead bite things in Swedish fish is like, it amplifies the taste of all other gummy foods. I don't recommend it with chocolate, but just Swedish fish. Oh, Saboko, you hit your head also. Who can hate Sour Patch Kids? It's like eating children. It's exactly what children taste like. It tastes like angry and sourness, and that's exactly what children taste like. So it works out perfectly. All right. Did I miss any other random kids yelling at me? I've been questioning my life since birth. See, now Kluber's back on her bed defending her banana bread. My brain hurt for a moment. Oh, I'm on my bed now. I missed that earlier. Oh yeah, by the way, I did take psychology. It was part of the reason why I like messing with you guys is I was a psychology major in college and then switched to becoming a teacher. So I have years of experience with like those brain messing classes, and I really enjoyed my brain messing classes, which sort of made me a professional. It also makes me really good at talking and dealing with kids, which is a whole different issue from there. Helping kids and messing with kids, they're all about the same thing. Oh my goodness, you guys are just going off on here. And then to there, all right, and then coming down, I usually don't allow my kids to have food in their room either, but they sneak it up there because they're a bunch of teenagers and they don't listen to me anyway, and they're horrible children. And then airhead bites are good. See, Natalie, I'm not as ashamed of you now. What? Who doesn't eat? You should eat kids. They're delicious. They're just the small ones. They do not taste like straight sugar. You're eating the wrong, unless you're dipping your kids in sugar. What class should I do next? Oh my goodness. Oh, no. Uh-oh, it's 10:48. Apparently, I'm going to have to leave now and abandon you guys until tomorrow because I have these regular kids who apparently I dip them in gasoline. I don't even know what to say about you kids nowadays. I have to now go teach regular kids, which I love them also, but it's not nearly the same. I don't get to torture them. We're just talking about the end of Outsiders, which is not near. Jenna, I have to leave you alone with your thoughts. I wish you the best of luck on that one. Just try not to think about all the lies that your teacher has given you or all the torture you're going to be in for next year with your teachers. Think about happy thoughts like e-learning and stuff like that. All right. All right, that's all I have. Until tomorrow, we'll talk again. Spelling is overrated, Natalie. No one cares about spelling. Oh, wait, no, endless. Emma didn't spell, sorry. Anyway, I have to abandon you guys as entertaining you guys are, and I really enjoy it. I have regular kids who are trying to join, so I'm going to have to leave you and then take off. Tomorrow, I'll open it again and have the test. If you guys want to attack me again, I will give you plenty of time to attack me. I'm absolutely fine with that. It brings me all kinds of happiness.
I don't appreciate you muting me.
I keep muting. Did I not turn it off?
Haha.
Aha.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can talk now.
Hi.
What?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Woo.
This is your fault.
We have power.
I missed my banana bread.